Alright everybody, so before you watch the rest of this tutorial, I just need to mention something here. So I've upgraded the audio on my videos and I bought this little wireless microphone, and one part of it attaches to my phone, which is attached, and the other part is this little wireless microphone that kind of clips to my shirt. And so for the last part of this tutorial, I'm using this microphone for my audio, and but I made a huge mistake. What I did is I forgot to put on this little foamy piece here, and so, which is a big mistake, because apparently you really need to have this on because it cuts down the wind noise from my breath. So there's many parts in this rest of this tutorial where you're going to hear like this howling wind sound almost, and that's just my breath. I'm just breathing and like taking an exhale or something, and the microphone is really touchy, and it just sounds like this howling wind, and it's throughout several parts of the tutorial. It'd be too much for me to go through and edit, and I don't really want to spend the time on that. So this is just a little video, just apology ahead of time. For maybe a couple more parts of this tutorial and then it'll be done, but here's kind of a sneak peek of the final finished painting, and you'll see how I get here. So okay, so you saw that quick peek. So anyway, yeah, hope you watch the rest of the video, and I again apologize for the weird audio. This thing is a new device to me, so I'm kind of just learning it as I go, and from now on I'll never forget this foamy attachment that I need to have on it. Okay? Alright, okay, thanks, bye. Alright, I'm back, and it's actually been a few days. I haven't worked on this painting in about 4 days, so just been real busy with work and just tired, and anyway, so I haven't seen this in about 4 days. I haven't worked on it. So when you don't work on oil pastel a little bit, it kind of sets up a little bit, but although it's very soft and movable. Alright, so this is where we left off at, and of course, seeing it with fresh eyes, I already see some things I want to fix. And one of those is back in here. I need to kind of soften edges here so it sits back a little bit better. So I'll just take a stump here and I'll kind of just go over and soften the edges of those marks so that they're not so sharp. Alright, I could use a brush, or I'll just use this stump here and just kind of soften it up a little bit. Alright, so this is the palette I was using. Here's of course the reference photo, and I got some more art supplies. Namely, I got some of these sticks here, these blues. Went down to the art store and stocked up again on some blues I was missing. Right, so I normally do my skies in kind of this or this here, so I got more of that stuff. These are both by Van Gogh's. And I found out at the art store that which was surprising to me, that the NuPastel is actually 20 cents more than the Van Gogh's, which is amazing to me. I figured these would be a good $1 more, but it's only 20 cents more for a NuPastel compared to a Van Gogh, which is amazing. These are such high quality oil pastels, but it is what it is. I can't complain about a nice good price. So alright, so I kind of want to work on this section. What I really need to do is I just need to add in a lot more oil pastel to the overall surface. It's just not enough there on the surface to work with. So that's what I'm going to work on today. Really, this is turning into a water painting, so let's get started on that. And before I start here, I got some more polars. This one's cranberry lime, so a different flavor. And cheers. That's good. Nice. Different flavor profile than the orangesicle one I was drinking the other day. Okay, let's work up on here. So if we look at the reference again, I just need to add more oil pastel to the surface here. So that's what we will do here. And I'm just going to start adding it in. This is a Van Gogh. It's basically just a random ochre color, but they call it raw lumber Van Gogh. But I'm kind of working in this shallow part of the water. You can kind of see the sediment underneath the water, so we need to kind of work that in a little bit. It kind of comes right up in there too. And then of course in this section here, let's go ahead and go with this new stick I got from Van Gogh. They call it turquoise blue. I use it a lot in my skies. When I do sky, blue sky, I'll use this kind of turquoise blue sky. And what I like to do with all my Van Goghs and Mungios is I just take the papers right off, because we don't need no papers, okay? Just take the paper right off. We use the whole stick here. And let's just go right into it. I do that with everything but the senneliers. I do not do that with sens, because with the sens are so soft and creamy that I actually need the paper to kind of grip onto them. Okay, yeah, this is a good color. Glad I went into the store and got this. This is the exact color I was needing in this section. All right, we're just going to put a lot of this on here. Just going to scrub it back and forth. And let's see, over here, let's go with this color blue. This is a, what does that say? Oh, I'm wearing the wrong glasses. Hang on a second. Okay, just had to put on the right glasses. This is cerulean blue. Okay, this is another good sky color. And again, just take off the papers. Are just going to get in my way. All right, so this will be going over here. Again, good color for sky, even though I pretty much worked that out anyways. And let's work in this color over here. Bring it down. Some of it over here. Let's take the papers off this raw lumber here. See, these are all Van Gogh sticks. They've kind of replaced my Mungios in a sense, because I can't get Mungios anymore without buying a whole new set. So it's kind of forced me over to find something different, and so I found these Van Goghs. The cool thing about the Van Goghs is they're local. I can get them local. Okay, I can buy right through the art store and just stock up when I need to, which is easy to do. If you have an art store in your area you can go to that just kind of stock up on supplies rather than just buying online. Buying online is kind of hard. Let's see, I need to extend this kind of earthy brown into the water section a little. All right, bring that shoreline into the water a little bit more. This is a sen number, what is it, number 36 Sennelier. Okay, $4.55 for a stick this size. Just found that out today. And then I'm going to put a little gray on top of that to help tone it down to the right tone that I need. Again, this is a NuPastel, just a standard medium gray. NuPastels. All right. Okay, let's kind of push that in. Kind of rubbed it off right there, but we'll just put it back. Yeah, just been a busy week, so when I like to paint, I like to at least know I'm going to have an hour to go, otherwise I feel kind of rushed. So just been busy, I didn't really have the time. But I have the time today. It is a Saturday, so don't work. I've been doing some things. Went to the art store, did a little workout, went on a walk, and so we'll work on this painting. Oh, by the way, I hope my audio sounds better. I got a mic, cordless mic for my iPhone, and I'm using it right now. So I'm hoping that it makes improvements to the audio, because normally what I have to do is I have to go into iMovie and boost all the audio up, so which doesn't really sound all that good, but this should hopefully improve that situation. All right, this is that NuPastel, kind of a rust red color. Put this here in the foreground. And these guys right here. You can see I kind of move around, kind of add to the overall thing. Now, some of these sky reflections, it actually is it's more of a lighter grayish blue color, so maybe this will work out for kind of the waves of the shore right here that are clearly visible in the reference picture. And definitely adding more layers of oil pastel to this as I go through it. When in doubt, just add more layers, and eventually you'll just work it all out. It'll all come together for you. Let's take a polar break. Have some different flavors there, and decided to try the cranberry lime. So yeah, why not? This sounds pretty good. I do love cranberry, so let's see how it is. I actually do like it. All right, and yeah, let's go with this. All right, so I'm going to put these down for a sec, and let's see. I should probably clean my hands a little bit. I don't want to bring any dirt to the water, so let me just start off with clean hands, since these will be touching the water area. Make sure I don't transfer any different colors up there. Okay. Let me save those guys. I use them all multiple times. All right. Now let's just push that in. And probably going to need a stump here, actually. A stump will definitely save some time and save my fingers. And I can get some good pressure on it. So what I'm doing is I'm just pushing that oil pastel right into the paper. Pushing it in. And the more layers you add to it, the easier it gets as far as moving the color around. So if you're stuck and you can't get the right color, just add more color, just add more layers of color. Right, eventually you'll stack that oil pastel on top of itself, and it'll start moving so much easier to manipulate when you just have enough layers on it. There's a sweet spot to it. I call it the sweet spot, where if you keep adding more and more oil pastel to the surface, you just keep adding more and more color. You start building it up, and it gets to a sweet spot where you can really move it around with your fingers or a stump or something if you need to blend. As you can see what I'm doing, it's just really easy to get coverage here. Okay. You really want to cover it and get a good layer going, because we can just add more right on the top of that. Okay. Make sure when you're using a stump, you use a nice clean edge like I did, like over here. It's got a different color here, so that would not work, but right there I got a good clean spot. These stumps are super handy to have. I could have got some more at the art store, but I was like, I already spent enough money. Like, I can't break my wallet every time I go to the art store, if you know what I mean, because that tendency to happen. I just want to buy everything I see, but I can't do that, so I really have to contain myself and just get what I absolutely need. Oop, got a little brown there, that's okay. Let's see, let's find a different spot for that. Okay, yeah, it's more of this gray. It's a good color right on top of that burnt red, brown color, whatever it is. Just to kind of knock it back so it's not so vibrant there. And also take this tip of the stump here and just work it into the edge of the paper. Alright, so we got a nice clean edge when we remove that tape. Alright, let's go for a polar break. Okay. All right, let's That's pretty good. Let's add some more color. Yeah, let's keep going with that. Okay, kind of the underneath the sediment of the water, you know, underneath this water on the floor, you can kind of see this kind of ochre color kind of peeking through the blues here. So I'm kind of just randomly going to hit that here and there. It kind of just disappears right into the blue of the water, the reflection of the sky, basically. But here and there you can kind of see it peeking through. Okay. And then here's a light gray NuPastel. We'll start working in some of the sky reflections with a little bit more pressure down, get some more color stacked up there. And this NuPastel is soft enough, it goes right over the top of all this. NuPastel is a great brand, by the way. I use it. Probably my second favorite outside Sennelier is the NuPastel brand. I use it quite a bit, and I'm always replacing colors. And in fact, when I do plain air work, which I'll eventually make a video just on that, I use exclusively NuPastel. So it's 100% NuPastel when I do plain air work, just because it's so versatile. Okay, that'll come out probably sometime in the when we get some warmer weather. I'm not much of a plain air person in the wintertime. I like to be in my cozy studio here with good lighting. All right, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of taking this gray and just random hits here and there, just kind of bring the sparkle of the water, surface water up. Here I'm trying to work in between some of these ochre marks, so it looks like there's some rippling going on in the water. Right in here and there. You can see the ochre, you can see the light gray coming through. And then it kind of disappears, and we'll just put this gray right over the top. Right, get those ripplings a little bit closer together so I can just go right over the top, and the texture underneath just kind of creates those ripples for me, which is helpful. See how that works? I'm just not doing anything but just rubbing it right over the top, and the texture on the paper and all that oil pastel there has created this broken effect here with the color, so it makes it look like water is rippling. Kind of a cool effect, but very easy to do. And basically where the cloud is kind of where I see some of this. So here is another one where it's kind of reflecting that cloud that's right above it there. Over here there's a little, and over here. Right, and if the mark is too strong, I'll just take a finger again and just hit it like that. The color is too strong, just so it doesn't pop forward too much. Okay, and then down in here, let's see, we have this water, little subtle waves, little gentle rolling subtle waves that are right here. That's reflecting a lot of that light gray color actually. And we'll kind of push that in. Okay. Slowly work those in. Right. Okay, and here also. Right here. Alright, we're just pretending those are subtle crest of little gentle waves rolling through here. Okay. Hopefully it'll eventually look like that. Alright. Come back in a couple more of these ochre marks in here. Alright. We add some more of this right in here. There's that rust color down underneath that, so I put that down in there, and then I take this, oops, dropped you, where did you go? Right down there, okay. So I put that in first, that's a NuPastel, and then I'm putting this Van Gogh right over the top of that, and it is working. Right, go right over the top very easily. Just kind of tone that a little bit. Again, you can see the texture as I just rub the stick across, and it creates this the texture for me, which is nice. Alright, now we're going to work on some of the rocks underneath it. I'm seeing a ton of rocks in this area. Okay, and that's really going to change the game here. It's going to kind of make things really stand out and make that foreground water kind of look pretty good. Now over here, I need to bring in, where is it? Definitely some of this. And then some of this gray. Looks more like a lot of gray right here. See kind of the water starting to change a little bit of color as it gets to the land here. Something's going on where I'm allergic to something. This whole week my eyes have been really watery and nose is kind of runny, so I apologize if you hear me sniffling here and there. I don't edit, so you'll hear all that. Alright, here's the water's kind of breaking up. Yeah, that's about right. And then where that water hits the shore, there's kind of a break in the water. Right, it creates these little, right, it's kind of, it gets right where that water kind of crashes into that. Right, just pretend that that's like a breaking waves, right? Little subtle breaking waves are right there at the, right there where the water meets the land area, right? Kind of get this same thing you would see at the coast, like at the beach, right? This is Detroit Lake in Oregon, central Willamette Valley, close to the Willamette Valley, close to Salem, Oregon, if you're curious where this location might be. Okay. And this is before the fires, so this area looks so much different now. A lot of these trees have been burnt, and it doesn't look like this. So the area's been devastated by wildfires. That happened in 2020, September 2020. It felt like the whole state was on fire. No joke, it was so depressing. And the skies were just red. And just covered in smoke, what seemed like forever. It probably lasted a good month like that. It was horrible. Worst fire season I've ever experienced in Oregon. But we got through it. So this area has changed dramatically since that happened. Okay, so I'm going to use this again, this medium gray for some distant waves there you can see kind of forming back in here. Some rippling in the water. We'll use this as the dark part of the water for right now. We might leave it like that. I might use a blue. Right now that seems to be working okay. Alright, just kind of trying to match what I see there in the reference photo for the most part. Again, this is that Van Gogh, which is a pretty decent brand. I do like them. I use them a lot. It's a decent replacement for the Mungio brand, since I can't buy those anymore without buying a whole new set. So if I just need a single color, so that's why I started switching over to the Van Goghs, because it was close in consistency to the Mungios, although I think the Mungios are slightly a little bit better quality. And the color line in the Mungio is much better, like the color line of the grays and particularly the ochres. And I just can't find replacements. So certain brands have different ranges of color that you just can't find. I think the NuPastel does a great job with their range of colors. A bit more sky color down in there. Okay, and then there's that ochre. And where's that red color? There it is. Kind of fade that into it. Kind of try to make that transition from the top of the water to the bottom sediment color. Okay, keep going. Alright, let's just kind of back and forth there. Alright, we're making progress. We are getting there. It's going to take some time, but we are getting there. You can see how I move around. I don't stick in one spot as I try to move my attention around, move the energy around. So otherwise you kind of overwork a certain area and it doesn't really work out. So if I just kind of move around, and I kind of avoid overworking an area. Alright, just kind of hit and miss where that reflection sky intermingles with the bottom of the lake bed right there. Very subtle. The pressure here, I'm not really putting pressure. I'm more or less just letting the texture of this paper and the texture of the layers of oil pastel here kind of pick up the color and just let it let it drop where it wants. Okay, I just make sure I go back and forth in a horizontal way, and that helps keep the water level stay flat. Right, because water has to stay flat for it to look believable and doesn't look like it's slanting or sliding off the page. Okay, now let's get the Prussian blue, which is right here, and I'm going to move some of these sticks off to the side just to kind of make some room up here. Here's a blue, we might use that. Okay, that's kind of what we're working with. And then let's kind of raise this up a little and pull a brake. Where are we at here? We're at 24 minutes. All right, let's put in some shadows of some underwater stuff. So underwater stuff, Prussian blue is the best for that. And this is the NuPastel Prussian blue. And I'm concentrating on the shadow, where I want that shadow to be, okay? I'll make a mark like that, and then I'll kind of hit it with my finger. Okay? And maybe we'll put some large rocks in here. Okay, so make a mark, make the shadow part of it, and hit it with the finger, right? And pretty soon this will start looking like underwater rocks. Right? And you can do the same with like a log or sticks or anything like that. Anything underneath the water, the shadow is what I'm thinking of. The shadow is a Prussian blue, okay? The shadow on top of the land is not a Prussian blue, it's a dark blue, right, or a dark brown, but not the same, right? The darks underneath the water are not as strong as the darks above the water, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're working, doing stuff like this, underwater rocks or logs or whatever that's underneath the surface of the water. Okay. And make sure you put in different sizes. So maybe this will be another big kind of rock right there. All right, and I know my sun's coming here, so the shadow's going to be, since the light's coming this way, the shadow's on the opposite side of that light, right? Light's coming here, shadow's on this side over here. All right. So just make sure you stay true to your light. All right, there's a bunch of little rocks, so I can just kind of scrub that in here and there. Okay. Kind of bring alive the foreground area. Maybe there's a big one right there. Some little ones next to it. You see, I'll just kind of scatter those around. And over here you can kind of see faintness of them. Just they kind of just drift off. Right, can't really see it in this section. It's more like right here. Right at the near section of us here. Oh, dog wants in. Hang on a second.